UAR began organically with a world-class, highly creative, innovative animation production company based in Portland, Oregon. We had visions of how augmented reality could inspire the world with art and wonder. Finding the relocalizing technology lacking at the time, we struck out to build our own. With the help of some inspired young geniuses, we became a technology company in the process. For the first time, AR experiences can persist in the real world and go beyond one user or one session. The UAR Cloud SDK provides the ability to create, discover, and associate content to AR anchors anywhere in the world. Our adaptive anchor network uses a collection of anchors to refine AR content. Positioning occurs and can be tracked over time and continually improves consistency. Crowdsourcing speeds up the mapping process and allows users to continually improve the system. Users can leverage the system to quickly find content and track to areas they have never been to before. UAR was founded in 2015, solving problems in visual positioning with solutions in accuracy and user space, solving problems on the spatial web for data quantity, lost data, and data lookup. We answer questions like, what do we do with massive amounts of data, with upwards of thousands of people needing access to accurate data, and how do those users specify the data they want? We are committed to a shared spatial compute landscape, one where content is persistent and accurately shared. The compute landscape is a public good for everyone and protected, making it open, private, and secure. We call the thing that accomplishes these the UAR AR Cloud. Geographically anchored poses, GeoPoses. From the OSCP, users of a VPS need to be able to obtain, record, share, and communicate geospatial position and orientation of any real or virtual objects with 6 degrees of freedom. Another way to phrase this is that the CRUD operations, create, read, update, delete, of persistent storage access need to be firstly unified, the job of OSCP and OGC, so that no walled garden and consumption problems of the data exist. And secondly, the system is dynamic, so that the creation, reading, updating, or deleting of GeoPose objects is useful in a context to be content ready. Content on the GeoCanvas. While GeoPoses provide solutions for a variety of industries and consumers, for instance, autonomous driving, it doesn't address those applications which need the ability to place and manipulate content in a cohesive manner. Wouldn't it be frustrating if one coordinate reference system's Z-forward was away from the device and the others toward it? Similar questions should be asked. How is content accessed? What format should the content be in? How do I share real-time or statically these highly modifiable objects? The VPS providers who operationally achieve the most efficient and accurate solution to these questions will undoubtedly win out. GeoPoses and essential data. According to OGC, the combination of XYZ, or longitude, latitude, elevation, and orientation is fundamental to understanding basic 3D positioning in any coordinate scheme. It is important that every VPS adhere to the standard, which includes both axial magnitude and direction for each pose relayed in the system. It provides the basis of communication, but prompts interesting questions when coordinate reference systems may have changed due to relocalization changes in the anchor. In other words, localization frame of reference has changed. GeoPoses and frame of reference. Currently, the OGC specification discusses how to overcome localization frame of reference changes by, in the context of buildings, equipping sensors allowing it to provide a real-time data stream of GeoPoses for the floor and enable AR solutions to account for those movements both for placing content inside the floor of the building or outside of the building. While better and more accurate hardware will one day become cheaper and a more viable solution, out of the box, the UAR Cloud SDK solves these frame of reference problems in an efficient and accurate fashion for today's commonplace tech. We provide a standard OGC compliant definition such that our adaptive anchor network provides an anchor-relevant GeoPose, but the underlying spatial discovery service of UAR makes it a true VPS. The UAR VPS in action. Anchors and GeoPose. Wayfinding via multiple anchors.
Open it on this side, we walk in, and here is our map to the train station. And there's your two paths. You got your ball path and your box path.
In this video, we use an OGC compliant GeoPose format system to relay the relative location of target objects in scene along with device location. Here, our underlying Cloud SDK determines that better localization is possible through a different anchor. We still maintain a unified GeoPose, but improve the user's position and prevent them from potentially ending up in the train tracks. This demo was in an environment which does not have cellular service or Wi-Fi. It is done completely offline without interruption. Environmentally adaptive anchor networks. This video is a back-end look at what was driving the localization in the previous video. At the end, you can see that our adaptive anchor network system properly aggregates multiple geoposes into a coordinate reference system, indicated by the multiple colored cubes floating in the same physical space. Whether objects or lighting change, we make sure that the underlying GeoPose works seamlessly with our SDK. This means, just as the GeoPose format was intended to work, content is accessible and accurate even in dynamic or volatile environments where underlying anchors change frame of reference localization. Content and GeoPose. Local scale content. Our content and GeoPose system lets subscribers to our VPS experience content in a lot of different spaces. Events fired by our anchors and GeoPose system allow us to pick up content at stadium scale. Here, content is very simple, but provides a good starting point for discussing the ways in which other people use content-based GeoPoses to experience AR. Anyone in the stadium can localize to a local space, and our OGC compliant GeoPose system can display a given content. City-scale content. This video was an awesome showcase of where content, the model of the city itself, can provide an augmented reality of our neighborhoods and cities we thought only possible in sci-fi cyberpunk fiction. There are some interesting problems that the YouAR Cloud SDK can solve when it comes to experiencing these city-scale content experiences. We've been working closely with our partners at Geogram in Canada to highlight this. As multiple users walk through city-scale spaces, our Cloud SDK communicates with itself to improve upon accuracy issues at distances larger than 100 meters. As you can see by these images, walking over a quarter mile in between, we are able to maintain extremely accurate positioning of content, which is the city model of YDS in Toronto. Content and multiplayer. Looking into the future, the YouAR Cloud SDK and its OGC compliant GeoPose format provides a rich VPS that allows for augmented reality applications that are multiplayer, with multiple pieces of augmented reality content present in the scene. In this video, the YouAR Cloud SDK provides a VPS system that allows persistent and localizable content at extremely developed levels of interaction. Use case: supply chain. Our partners at SOJOURN have highlighted how our spatial discovery service and the OGC GeoPose extend beyond consumer AR and address the spatial connectivity in drones, robotics, and IoT. For drones, our solution creates delivery points with precision and an accuracy that remains persistent when you return to the map. Here's how it works. A customer can order products or food using their favorite apps. The customer easily performs a scan of their delivery location using the camera on their smartphone to create a private map. The user will then place a specific delivery point within the map they created. Algorithms then convert the map into small files that are transmitted to a private cloud. The file is secured algorithmically and with encryption. At no time is an image of a customer's property sent up to the cloud, ensuring personal privacy. The customer can use the same delivery point for other services using the YouAR Adaptive Anchor Network. The delivery drone arrives at the customer's address via GPS and is granted the customer's private map. It begins an additional scan to find commonalities between the customer-created map and the environment in its view. The drone knows its absolute position in relation to the customer-created map and completes the delivery precisely to the set delivery point. As the drone leaves, it will scan the delivery location to improve and adapt the map to changes in the environment for future deliveries. This delivery location is now persistent and accessible by companies delivering with the Adaptive Anchor Network.
Hey guys, I'm actually going to be speaking through Ray's account right here. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I'm going to turn the camera on right there. Hi, thank you for watching that video. It's a pleasure to present here again for the third time. I'm hoping that we can use the remainder 3 to 4 minutes to answer any questions anybody has about the video. There's a lot of content in there, and we go over things like use cases as well as all the other sort of high-level in-action concepts, and we can go into a little bit deeper of a dive of each of those videos if you guys have any questions on those.
May I take answer or ask a question?
Yeah, totally. Please.
So you're making your positioning service GeoPose compliant. That would enable you to participate in test beds. Have you considered doing that, even though they are in Europe?
Well, so we've actually been using what we didn't know at the time as an OGC compliant definition for well over a year now. And so now that we're, talking more and more about how, in terms of like the other partners that we have discussed, Jen, you and us, it would be totally cool to get access to that and to be able to actually integrate into that. That immersive demo with the Nissan thing, when we looked at that, that was super cool, and we immediately thought of our partners at Geogram for that. And if we can use that via some other test bed, I think the one that we were discussing was in Finland, correct? That was like the main one that we were discussing. That would be a super cool integration into our system, and we would love to do that at some point. If we could get a point of contact to do that, or
maybe Mikko will be on. At least he will be on a panel later. So if you join in on the OSCP panel, you should be able to reach out to him, and definitely you can go to our Discord channel as well. And
right on.
Yeah,
we would love to do that. I think one of the more interesting things that we always found intriguing about our platform over some other solutions was, in particular, that first video that you guys saw of doing the subway. That was one of the things where the OGC compliant post format was one of our better innovations, because we were faced with this problem of, hey, well, that's great if you can actually poll against some server for your lat long and these things, but what happens when you need to store local data in order to overcome that problem when you don't have access to any of that stuff? That was one of the more fundamental problems that we felt gave us a big advantage.
Yeah, that's a good thing to test, the offline use case. That would be great if you could bring that technology to a test bed and try it out together with the platform.
Absolutely, yeah. I think we only got about 40 seconds, so it's probably time for a quick, last quick question.
Yeah, there's a question I see in the chat. I work with a youth org that has a drone initiative. Can this be used as a teaching tool?
That has a drone initiative?
Yeah, it says so. So it's April B who is asking the question from the chat.
Drone initiative. Yeah, we don't see the question in here, but go ahead. We got a couple seconds.
Yeah, so I mean, in general, sorry, so quick question. How does the drone relate to that initiative? What is the...
Okay, she says she can meet you at air meets. If you go to the